Hello, everyone. If we could take seats, let's get going. We're running a little behind schedule, and we do want to make sure everybody gets enough playtime today. So if we could please take seats, awesome. Wow, it's silent. Alex, you good on sound check back there? Okay. Wow. First, important public service announcement. Everyone, please change all your devices to this Wi-Fi hotspot. If any of us have been at events before, you know that the signal that we use and the connections to the router is super important to keep a stable connection when we get into demo time. So this CC-public Wi-Fi access point is the one you'll want to use. Try and stay on that at all points in time. When we get into instructions for how to play, we'll tell you, we'll give you a new hotspot to connect to, and we'll deal with that. Okay? Awesome. So first of all, well, it's second of all after the hotspot thing. Just want to say how grateful and thankful we are for everybody coming out today. This is absolutely super amazing. I was reminded earlier, just talking over in the back, that I've known some of you for over 10 years. Just from the community, and we've been through Oculus Connects together and LAN events and so many things. By way of introduction, I'm David Y, by the way, the other David. I used to go by Oculus David Y. I think I'm AA David Y now. I'm not sure what's on the back of this kit. But just wanted to say how much we appreciate you all coming out and really experiencing this with us. It's super amazing, and it's a big reason why we do what we do, is to build these connections with community, to experience these games together, to form memories. And I have so many great memories with many of you in this room. So thanks so much. This is the schedule for today. We're a little bit late, so we're going to jam along as fast as we can. But we're going to talk for a little bit, just to explain a little bit what you're going to see today. Talk a little bit about the future, what inspired us to do what we're doing, what were we thinking. And also to share a little bit more of some work in development. So when we finish this keynote, we're going to ask everyone to clear the room as fast as possible so we can set up all the play spaces. So we'll do a turnover for that. And then at 1:30 is when we wanted to start. We'll see how we're doing with schedule. We'll start demo time, and that will run all the way till 5 o'clock. Hopefully everybody signed up at the sign-in sheet when you all checked in, yes, for the demo slot times. Awesome. We intentionally kept the number of tickets capped for this to try and make sure we got everybody at least in half an hour. I don't know how many of you have been to other demo events, but when they try and rush you through a VR demo in 10 minutes, and it's just no fun. So everybody should have plenty of time to be in headset, and hopefully you can get a couple rounds in. So also starting at 1:30, we're going to start 2 parallel tracks of kind of discussions. In the green room, which is back and to my right, your left, there is look at Rachel, or Sakura, who's waving back there. We're going to do 4 talks, and they're scheduled on this timeline. So at 1:30, Franz, Zach, and Craig are going to show you some of the spectator, and we'll actually have spectator up on the screens as well as we go through the day. At 2:30, Duncan, Kenny, and Tyler are going to talk to you all about stations and some of the community support that we have for those features. At 3:30, Jake Copenhaver, Special Delivery, will be doing a talk on movement and mechanics and why we decided to make some of these decisions we made and what we're really driving for. And then at 4:30, one of my favorite topics is going to be about building community. And that's the spectrum of community, everything from casual to competitive, and Rachel Hart will be leading that conversation at 4:30. Running in parallel in the spot right behind Rachel is Caleb, and at 1:30 and at 3:30, those are scheduled times for Caleb to actually show you a live version of the demo, a live version of a level editing demo that we're putting together. This is a sneak peek at some of the tools that we plan to ship with the product, and it'll give you a really great sense of how easy it is to actually make custom content and launch it, and just kind of the fun you can have and how quick it is and easy it is to do. Finally, at 1:30 and 3 o'clock, food will start to be served, more food. There's plenty of seating spots outside. There's a fantastic park just over to the, again, my right once you exit, with some green space, plenty of spots to hang out. The parking lot's pretty big too, but we have a lot of space. But again, this space will be reserved for demos, so we do want to clean that up. Finally, I said finally twice, 5:15, we'll do our closing remarks. We have a bunch of Proximats that we brought in for people to play on. We're going to give those away. So at 5:15, come back for some closing remarks. We'll maybe do some Q&A. and then we're going to give away those proximats. So someone, 30, 35 people will be able to take those home. Okay? And then finally, 6 o'clock, three finalies. At 6 o'clock, everyone's out, and then we have the after-party event at Velocity Esports, which is on the southern side of town. So make your way over there. We start that at 7. And you should be wristbands and other things that we're handing out there. All right? So one of the things we want to talk about today is another axiom in our philosophy. Number one, we believe that VR is awesome. Some of us are also fans of MR and AR and all of those things, but as Kerestell is prone to say, VR is just so good now. And it's gotten better with Quest 3. It's gotten better with every headset's release, and we're so happy that VR is now, has as many headsets and as many users as we've seen in the marketplace, because VR is just wonderful from our perspective. The things that you can do with the technology today, amazing. To be able to transport you to those worlds, to be able to feel those worlds, to have that sense of presence and tactics or tactile presence in those worlds is amazing. And that's what we really believe in. We can deliver powerful experiences with that. And we've seen that with products we've built. We see that with Gorilla Tag, and we certainly hope that you'll see it today with A2. The second thing that philosophy-wise for us is that emergent play is extremely important to us. We intentionally construct our games so that when you go into the environments, they really are a playground. They're a third place. They're a place to be with your friends. And games will just emerge. And sometimes we don't necessarily have to provide structure or rules. The games will happen by themselves. And really, it's the community that determines how the rules are set and how things are going to be played. And that's super important to us. Finally, the third point for us philosophy-wise is community. Gorilla Tag would not be what it is without the way Kerestell did it and exposing it to the community as early as he did to get that amount of feedback. Echo wouldn't have been what it is without the community and the strength of, we're all here. And that's just amazing that this community has been built and it's around and we're here today to kind of play together. And that's just so important on just the strengths and bonds that provide us all together. As I mentioned, or another axiom is just a little bit different in how we do things. And that's all driven from how Kerestell built Gorilla Tag in the first place. He's launched something super, super early. He wanted to get feedback on it, and he really developed it out in the open eye. And that's something we're bringing with us to another axiom. So one of the things I just wanted to set some table stakes here and some expectations. What you're seeing here is about 14 to 16 weeks of work. It is super, super early. But much like Gorilla Tag, I can't see the screen, so I'm going to take a look here. But this is what Gorilla Tag looked like in the beginning. This is what Kerestell launched on the Discord. That's how early it looked. And that's great because it gets you quick into delivering the experience to users, letting them try things, let them experience things, and we get rapid feedback on what needs to improve, what's good, what you like, what you don't like, and we're going to listen to all of that. So starting today, this starts our journey together on what we're building for A2, and hopefully the relationship we'll have and kind of that feedback loop that we'll get by working together on that. Our vision for A2 is really a North Star, and we like to describe it as stations. We are really pushing the limits of social VR here. What we've built in the past, products that we've made, some are very, very near and dear to us. I think that speaks to just the people that are here about some of the products that we've built and we've loved. And those are near and dear to our heart. But those games are not what define us. There's a long history of commercial VR that we have to build experiences on. Some of the people here I met on the Unspoken Discord, which was 8 years ago. Kerestell I met on the Unspoken Discord, actually before for Echo VR. And all of those games, all of those experiences, and that love of VR is what shapes what A2 is going to become. A2, and I want to be very clear about this, is not the spiritual successor to anything. Rather, it is the evolution of all of our learnings from Gorilla Tag, from other games, from Raccoon Lagoon, from VR Sports, to the Unspoken, to all the things we've built in the past. This truly is for us something that we're pushing forward. And what we see today is just a small slice of our goals for what we have for the future. We're pushing concurrency. So we're going to have 30 people in sets at I think at any given time today, all in one experience. And that's just a fraction of our goal. We want you to go away from this event, to go home. And when you're able to actually join A2 in real life or at home, feel like it's what it's like to be here. And this is super magical and powerful. To actually be able to play with that many people concurrently in a social space, that's the thing that drives us. And I think that's what this audience understands more than anything, is being in those spaces with those people, to be socially co-present with other people is super powerful. And that's a super magic secret sauce that we don't think a lot of people understand, but we think the people here do, and you'll appreciate. We're pushing the definition of physical, tactile VR sports. You know, Echo, Gorilla Tag is very much about hand movement. It's about presence. It's about what you hear and what you see and what you touch, as much as it is anything else. And that's another thing that we really want to focus on. And then finally, like I said, today is just one type of the experiences that you get to play when we launch this game. We focused on this one specifically for reasons, but it is going to be one type of game mode that we have. We're going to offer things for competitive people. We're going to have social spaces and activities for on the other side of that spectrum. We're going to provide tools for builders and for creators to make content, and also that special brand of VR that we have in terms of making that emergent play and how social play spaces just create activities because we're there together that we don't think a lot of people do. We're going to be targeting early 2024 for our App Lab release in Q1. We're going to be in App Lab for at least a full year. And we're going to, again, do this with the community and build it out in the open. So you're going to see us building the things as we go. And then our goal is to launch to the full store by the end of 24, if everything goes well. With all that said, I wanted to introduce Kerestell / Lemming. I still call him both. And he's going to talk a little bit more about stations for you. Kerestell?
Yeah, so stations is kind of our big swing for this next game. And we have a lot of reasons why we kind of picked the direction that we wanted to go. But for me, so much of this is about looking at what came before, right? What came with Gorilla Tag, what came with Echo. And what are the things that are really pushing you away from that experience? Like, if you play Gorilla Tag in a public room and you find some people you're really having a fun time playing with and you want to go to a different level, you can't just go there together, right? You have to figure out, okay, let's go to the computer, let's figure out a room to join, let's join it. Okay, now we're in a private, so we can't meet new people, but we can go over there. If you want to if you want to play a new game mode, you have to go back and you have to do that process again. Like if you play Echo and you did a quick match, you would play a match with people and you might have a really great time, and then at the end of it, you get kicked back out and you never see those people again. So really a lot of the things that we're thinking about is what are the things that are pushing you out of the experience? What are the things that are stopping you from forming those connections with people and really bonding with them? So our thought is, okay, we'll make this concept of stations. We'll try and fit as many people as we can. Like right now, our target is 200 people in a station. We haven't hit that number quite yet, but we're doing our best. And the thought was, hey, if we make it so that we can have this many people in one space, you can go and you can play around and you can switch to spectator and you can go to this other spot and see who's there and talk to people and whatever. And it was really kind of a very aspirational idea, right? Like this is something that, man, wouldn't it be cool if we could do this? And the problem with doing that kind of thing, right, is that you don't know. Until you actually make it, you don't know. Maybe there are going to be things that don't work about it. Maybe the experience won't be as cool as you thought it was going to be. Maybe it's just doesn't pan out. So what I'm so excited is because we made it and it's working. Like, it's working. Like, the experience that you have of playing somewhere and seeing people out spectating, and you can say, hey, we just dropped a player, jump in, and someone comes in there. You have the players like cheering on one side and boo the other team when they score, If you get tired, you can swap out and see other people on the station, and like people are zooming around and just having fun trying to race each other. Like there's so much possible nervousness with an event like this, right? Where we're showing off something and it's like maybe it'll work out and maybe it won't. But like it works and it's so cool and I'm so excited and everybody's gonna get to try it out. And yeah, so I got to do the easy part and just be excited. So Dave is gonna come up next and he's gonna talk a lot about the details about what we needed to do to make it happen.
Thank you, Kerestell. He came to me and he was like, hey, Dave, I want 200 people. I was like, how about 20? And he's like, all right, 40. I was like, 30. And now we have 200, so I don't know. It's exciting, though. It's super exciting. So we are building a massive multiplayer VR sports game. And I'm going to show you what that means. So today, this is kind of just a quick introduction to how we're going to play. Okay, so I can't see the video. Oh, there it is. So there's a tip-off, The ball, you place the ball in the center. Oop. And then it's going to go down. It's going to shoot off at a random direction. So maybe grab your partner, get ready for a regrab. There it goes. Yeah, I'm excited too. And then once you get the ball, score, get the W. So afterwards, offense needs to return to their side. They can't grab the ball, they can't interact with players until the ball is brought through the midfield line. Once the ball goes through, game on, or 15 seconds has expired. And oh yeah, sorry, I can't see, but that was a tackle. There's sliding, there's grabbing. That's the game. That's the basic premise that you'll be playing today. Cool. So when we set out to make the game, I with Jake and I, we originally made Echo in a game jam, and we had a lot of buttons to it, and it was a great game. I love it, but we wanted to make for this game, we wanted to make it a real sport. So we wanted to remove as many buttons as possible and make it super physical. So tackles. So go up and just grab someone and throw them into a wall. Regrabs. Regrabs are in. They're different than what you've experienced. We brought it down a little bit because we also wanted the soul of physical play to really kind of shine. So paddling, slapping, sliding, grabbing, push-offs. And then we're experimenting now with hand collision. So you swat something out of the way, or if you're a goalie, body collision, hit the disc off it. We want it to really, really feel like a sport. So I'll kind of go through the different mechanics real quick so you can see. So with paddling, the more you paddle, the faster you get. There is no speed cap to it. So if you're far down the field, you just have to go faster and harder than the person next to you. And this person right here, they're dribbling the ball, they catch it, they slow down, so they throw it in front of them. They do a couple paddles, maybe do some jukes. Right now, the person in the back paddles harder and makes it to the ball first. Tackling. This is my favorite mechanic. Oop. So if you have a goalie, all you have to do is go faster. All you have to do is go faster than the person. But you can play it as offense, of defense, clear interceptions. Sliding's really good about keeping your momentum. If you're going really fast and you want to redirect your momentum, you can. So in this next play, the ball is caught and cleared to the other side. The person in the back is going fast, redirects his momentum off the back wall to keep going fast and beat everyone to the disc. And then the people watching, they're bored, so they're going to have their little Grand Prix race up top. All right. Regrabbing. So regrabbing still exists. When you go, it gets up to a certain speed, and the last person gets the extra boost off. So you have to control how many pulls you want to do. All right, and he hyped up stations, but stations, there's going to be so much to do in it. While you can play the main game, there's also going to be mini games. You can socialize, practice areas, you can spectate in real time. So I'll go through a couple images. It looks tiny on the screen, but when you get in there, you're going to realize how massive it is. Actually, I'll go back. There's two arenas, so like if you're on the outside of the stage, you can kind of just peer in, see what's going on over there. You're like, well, maybe I'll just kind of float over to this one. That one looks more exciting, so I'm going to drop into that game. This is kind of a paint over we did of what it could look like soon. So this is the Cobb Stadium, and they're playing the Cuttlefish. This is the Crown Stadium. And you can imagine in the future, maybe this is your station, maybe it's like Team Ignite, and so you have your own logos, your own colors, and you invite the away team to come play here on the home court advantage. It's a quick fly-through to give a sense of the scale. Is it playing? I think it is. Okay. So we don't have any kind of like fast teleportation or anything. So like you'll see that you have to take elevators or way rails or gravity tubes, or you can just kind of float and take the very long way of eventually getting to where you need to be. Okay, so a little bit about other things that we're building, and like David said, today there's tons of tools to customize your station however you want, build your own arenas, change out the logos. We've also have built-in tools to capture your highlights and replays, so if you want to analyze what you're doing. So here's like a dashboard of like, this is the beer league station. You can invite people into it, kick people out. Here's the spectator and our replay system. So right now they're scrubbing backwards in time and get that kind of perfect shot. So this is great for content creators or maybe post-game of a match. You can just analyze your play as a team. Yeah. Replay also works in VR too, so you don't even have to be outside the headset. Okay, so building your own levels. So this is another demo that's in the back you can see today. So here we go. So right now they're playing volleyball live while the little arena is being built in real time. So you can collaborate with your friends, you can change the geometry, you can script. Definitely check that out. So the way this is going to work, like you said before, everyone's going to leave. We're going to set up the space. You're going to come in. 30 people are going to play, and then 10 people are going to roll out, and then 10 people are going to roll in. There's going to be a team captain. They're going to be colored differently. They'll kind of shepherd you through the station. You'll kind of watch a game first, from the stands, spectating, and then when the game's over, you'll kind of rotate in, play on one stadium, and then you'll kind of float over to the other stadium. You'll play in that one, and then the demo will be over. Just a second reminder, make sure you're not on the LAN. We don't want the gameplay to be interrupted. And one last thing, we're going to leave this screen up so people can see the schedule for today, but everyone who downloaded the build today, don't delete it, because going forward, you guys are all in the early access. Thank you.
Again, thanks everyone for coming. Get out so we can set up the demo. And let's get going, yeah?